Hi artists! Today we're going to draw a dragon eye. And the eye of a dragon is a fantastical thing because dragons live in the imaginary world. And so this is going to be something that is less realistic than fantastic. So it's going to look fantasy oriented and it should be a lot of fun. So let's dig in. You can use your sketchbook or a clean piece of mixed media paper. And I say mixed media because we will be using oil pastels, Sharpies, and probably a lot of other things. So let's get to it. What you want to do is think of your paper or hold your paper landscape, and you're going to draw an arc across your page that's up and down. Sort of like a mountain shape. And then you'll do the same thing that mirrors the other side. And that forms the lid of the eye. And we'll go in and do the inside of the lid right next to it. And I'm using a Sharpie. You're going to want to use a pencil. I'm using a Sharpie so that you can see my work during the video. The next thing we're going to do is the round part of the eye inside the eye. And on this particular one, I was inspired by some artwork of a different artist that I saw online, and they had a double pupil, which was kind of interesting. So let's draw that out and you can see what I mean. So your eye, the iris, I believe it would be called, is kind of cut off at the top, so it's the letter C. And then the double eye, I'll call it a double eye. There's another one right next to it. Wow. So the highlight areas, before we start doing the scales and all the cool things that a dragon has, let's do some highlight areas that we will be filling in with solid black later. And it's basically a moon shape. And you're going to do two of them in the round part of the eye. And I'm going to fill these in now just to show you what I mean by highlight. And we've done this before in class where we've highlighted areas and left them white. In this case, we're going to fill the eye area in with black. It's a dragon, super crazy cool. And this is a good way to start. So we're just going to fill those in. And you can fill them in later with Sharpie or just scratch it in with your pencil just so that you know where you're headed. So the next part I would like to add is some just quick eyelashes along the top, just so that we know this is our eyelash line. And we'll go back and add some more details to that. And then we'll do it again on the bottom. Light pencil lines across the bottom. And then this other area that I wanted to add kind of looks like, I don't know what you would call it, but like dips in around to highlight the iris of the eye again. And that will be in a really striking color. And this whole area around on the inside is going to be black. And I'm going to just do this one more time. Again, this is a fantasy eye. It's not meant to look like a human eye. So think outside the box, and I'm totally open to seeing your unique designs. Maybe your iris and your eye looks like a cat. It could be of your choice. So the next thing I want to do before adding color is the scales. And the scales are the fun part because that's where we dig in with the oil pastels and do some shading and some fun stuff. But there's some warts over here in the corner of the eye, so you can add those circles in, little details, and the corners, big and little. And then we can go in and do some scales. And the scales start from each end, and they're sort of like bricks going around. And you can make them different shapes because no two scales are alike. And we're just going to layer them like a brick wall around the eye. And here's where you can experiment with shapes. So you want to do some shapes around the eye that follow the contour lines of the eye. So the brick shape, the rounded brick shape, these are kind of very wobbly. Helps highlight and frame out the eye. And then as you go spread out, the scales might get bigger and more square shaped, or maybe they're more petal shaped like a flower. That is all up to you. So you're going to see this video sped up where I start adding all of my different scales, and you're also going to see the next portion where I jump in with oil pastels. This should get you started. Be inspired to create something that you see. You can also go in with your Sharpie and add some thicker lines before jumping into any color that you do. Or you can do your Sharpie at the end. It's up to you. Explore and have fun, and I cannot wait to see your dragon eye.